So here's a little surprise I bought for myself, and I wanted to post, see what you guys think, and let you know that I bought the Ranger, a little brother. There's a Ranger, they're almost the exact same color. This is a 2019 Am Outlander Max XT 850cc in brilliant red, which is the combination of the brilliant red with the rims are all stock, but I really prefer that over the other color combinations. I've never owned an ATV. Obviously I have the UTV here. I was not planning on buying one. I got a good deal on it. We have so many trails that are close to us. Most that are right behind the property do not accommodate a 60-inch wide UTV. Usually I have to drive about an hour to get on those trails. But to have all these trails here, the kids are itty bitty, twins are 2, the oldest one's 4. So I was able to get the 4-year-old, she's big enough now that I could start taking her out on the trails, and to have it right behind our house, a big trail system. I just wanted to have, I wanted to make use of it, and I'll get a lot of use out of this thing. The Ranger, I don't take on the trails hardly at all. It's set up for the property, it's set up for the plow bracket, the plow frame set a little bit lower, so if I was going to go on the trails and really do trail riding, I want to take those off so I don't rip them off, bend them, or risk jeopardizing plowing in the winter with a big repair bill. So I'm not brand loyal, as you see, obviously with the Polaris. I just try to buy what suits my needs, do research, and try to find what's reliable, obviously what I like. I was looking for comfort. I was looking for a true chew-up machine, which this is. 850 cc's, has 78 horsepower, which is a lot for all the bigger these things are. They just keep increasing. Super smooth. The suspension I like a lot. It's not a sports suspension. It's not supposed to be. That's not what I bought it for. But put the wife on it or the kiddos. Obviously they're little right now. It's a little bit softer, and it works fine for that. I've had it on the trails a few times. The stock tires have great grip to them. It's a AA arm front suspension, independent rear suspension, which I believe is new as of 2019. It comes with a 3,000-pound winch. That's part of the package deal. Again, the 850 Rotax V twin, 78 horsepower. The winch up front, 3,000 pounds. That little cargo box that mounts on the front, that came with it. Everything's stock. I don't have any intention of adding performance upgrades or anything like that. I did spend additional money on the large storage container in the back because I wanted it for longer trips, and I bought the big storage container. The quality of it, I think, is a little lacking. It's not a very rigid plastic. The smaller ones seem to be a little bit more robust. I wanted the size, so I bought the bigger one, and they are quite proud of these. They're pretty damn expensive, but part of my negotiating with the dealer was to get 20% off all accessories, including this and the skid plates that I will add at some point. They should have those on a machine of this quality and expense, but they don't. And there's enough rocky terrain that I don't want to tear up the undercarriage of it, so I will buy skid plates and eat the cost of that and put them on. So back to the quality of this storage box. Everything you see on it, these rubber T-handles, the center handle, I put on myself just because it didn't seal super tightly. It kept out the elements, but I just could see that being a problem. So now with the T-handles on it, you could add extra. It closes obviously a little extra, a little bit stronger with having the T-handles on it. Before, all it had was a little kickstand like you'd have on the hood of a car on the left side here. I can't really use it since what I added to it. but you had to hold this up with your hand, put down the kickstand. I don't know why they didn't think about putting any type of gas struts or something that would keep this up on its own. I understand that's a first world problem, but it was still annoying. So everything I bought either from Lowe's or Amazon. So this is all, I put this all on myself. Everything's pretty flush mount, pretty clean. It looks like it's almost factory. Again, I put these all on myself. The big thing that I added, so I don't have to hold this up myself, and it will come up on its own, is now you can do this with one hand. I say that now that I have the phone on. So I added gas struts myself, which will now pick it up and hold it up. Instead of having to use that stupid kickstand they have over here on the side, it doesn't come all the way down because the gas strut's in the way, but it would come down right here and hold it up. So not only did that put awkward torque on this already flimsy plastic, it was not a good design at all. I like the storage. The amount of storage is great, and it has a running light, a backup light on it that I had to plug in, not a big deal. These gas struts, I bought the weakest gas struts I can find because the plastic is pretty flimsy, and if the gas struts are too strong, it will start to torque the plastic, which I did not want. So I initially bought 100 Newton gas struts. They were too strong, so I went with these 45 Newton gas struts and put one on each side. So now it will hold it up. It goes down slowly. You can open it up with one hand, and it will, once you get past that, you can probably hear it. It goes up on its own, which I thought was really slick and worth. I think the gas struts were, I don't know, 12 bucks a piece, maybe. So I bought the two of those. The T-handles were super inexpensive. Everything was mounted. It took a little bit of time to mount these because if you don't line up a gas strut in terms of the angle, they can be really particular about it. They may not close all the way. They may kind of bind on themselves. It can be a little bit of a pain, so that took a few minutes to figure that out. And these plastic lenses happen coincidentally to hide the mounting screws on the bottom. And again, that was luck on my part. I did not plan that out. But the screws are short enough with the nuts on. Those plastic lenses hide those on both sides, so it looks extremely clean, especially on the bottom. So now it shuts nicely, latches, pull down on the T-handles. You know that lid's not going to come up, there's no rattle. And good quality rubber T-handles, so I like it a lot, but it holds quite a bit in there. So the one thing I want to add, I'm not brand loyal, like I said. I heard good things about Can-Am, good reliability. Unfortunately, after only 4 hours and maybe 40 miles, I started it up, did not sound right, and I knew I dropped a cylinder. I had no idea why. Took it in, had them listen to it, and it's still under warranty, but the warranty, as you know, for most ATVs and UTVs are mediocre at best, unless you want to buy an extended warranty, which I didn't. And they took it apart. They hoped it was something like a fouled plug, maybe a coil, and it wasn't. And to our surprise, he lifted up the valve cover and saw that the adjuster nuts for the valve tappets had come off on the exhaust side, both of them, and they were laying there. The other side was fine, but that's why I lost that cylinder. He said he's never seen that in 20 years, at least coming from the factory. But after 4 hours, both of those nuts had come off. And I had a picture of it that he sent to me with the valve cover off. And since it's still under warranty, he took care of it. Can-Am took care of it, which obviously they should. The thing was only 2 months old. So it gave me a little pause for concern. I'm sure it was a fluke. They checked both sides. They obviously put on the new nuts, made sure they were tightened down. He also replaced the replaced the rocker adjuster assembly, is how it was labeled. But he and I were quite surprised, as well as their engine mechanic. So There you go. All covered under warranty though. The V-twin has tons of power and torque. Sounds super smooth. I have just under 100 miles on it. I'll start it up real fast. So there you go. The Ranger has a little brother. I use the Outlander for the trails, for the kiddos. And when they get older, we'll probably load both of them up and head further north to go to the bigger trails. But for now, get as much riding in as I can this year. It has power steering. It has 3 separate adjustments for it. The slower, I can't remember what it's called. There's basically it's normal, sport, and whatever the slower one is. I usually keep it on normal. You'd use I believe it's actually dynamic if I'm not mistaken. You'd use that, you know, for some of the slower, rockier terrain. But stock tires I like a lot. They have good bite to them. I'm going to leave those alone. I don't intend on doing anything else with it. Here's a kind of a view of the front end. So we'll take care of it, have some fun with it, and I'll keep you up to date if there's anything else going on. So I'm going to take it out these next few days and kind of run it hard since the repair's been done, and just make sure if anything's going to happen, it happens again before the warranty wears out or expires on it. I thought maybe you guys would like to see a video of this. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.